And good evening, everybody. Welcome to e-rev TV. Tonight we're bringing you some more CEVO CSS. We're going to be doing this weekly now, so we're just kind of kicking it back off. But we have two new teams tonight. As you know, we've been kind of covering Smashers and Vicious and some of the other top 5 teams, but we're actually visiting some of the lower standing teams tonight, even though one of them definitely shouldn't be. I want to talk a little bit about that more here in a second. First off, I want to give a shout out to the two people working with me tonight. First of all, as usual, Mr. Bobcat over on the camera, who's making the stream happen. And then we got a new guy in tonight. He's been a friend of mine for a couple of years, and he's going to give his shot at this tonight. So everybody, give a nice, big warm welcome to Mr. Jordan Siege. Mr. Siege, how you doing there, Siege?
I'm doing pretty good tonight. A little ashamed, you had to mention our, friendship past few years. Now everyone knows I'm associated with you.
Oh, poor Siege. It'll be okay. But tonight we're actually going to be doing week 5 of CEVO, so we're actually now midway through the season. So it's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to have Sour Patch Kids, who have been a little less than par this season. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then we have Dynamic, who really shouldn't need much of an introduction. I think everybody's fairly familiar with Dynamic, and so this should be great. Tell us a little bit about those teams. Can you see?
Alright, as you said, Sour Patch Kids, they are currently sitting at 3-5 this season. Like I said, having a rough time this season. Last season they played Maine, they went 10-8, got their way into the CEVO P placement tourney. Destroyed, rocked out a 3-0. Now they're in here in CEVO P and just can't seem to compete on the same level right now. As for Dynamic, they're holding at 6-1. They won the last 2 seasons at ECA Invite. They seem to be doing pretty good this season. They're sitting right now steady at 5th in the top 5. As for our top 5, we have Smashers and first. Second place would be Visions. Third, Just for Fame. Fourth, Cyber Rev. And 5th would be Dynamic.
Sounds awesome. And actually, Just for Fame is actually a changed name. They were Vicious Gaming, but they actually just got sponsored, or I guess they switched sponsors, I should say, to Just for Fame. So that's familiar. We've casted, I think, a couple of their matches already this season. So yeah, as we actually are just 1 player away from having all 10 of our players here in the server. Tonight's match will actually be on DE Season. I know everybody's looking at DDoS 2 and maybe like, what the F, but we will be switching here to DE Season in just a second, which is where the match will be at. As that's kind of like you were saying, Dynamic has been very, very successful. Not only have they won the past 2 seasons of the ASA Invite, they've also pretty much gone to the playoffs every season they've ever been in CEVO P as well, and have done very well there. So they're definitely very familiar, and all their players are very familiar. This squad has been playing together for a long time, especially Pex, AZK, and Legend. They've been together for as long as I can remember. I think Anger is a little bit of a newer addition to the squad, and Adren is a little bit newer of an addition, but he's actually been on the team for probably a year or 2 himself. So not they're quite as long as AZK, Adren, and Pex, but pretty close. They actually AZK, Legend, and Pex used to play together on X3O back when that organization sponsored a Source team, and that's how they kind of got their start together. Then they got picked up by Dynamic, and since then they picked up Adren. And was very successful, like you said, winning the last 2 seasons of CEVO, ESEA Invite, and now they've picked up Anger, who I think is a newer addition for this season. So yeah, that team definitely knows their stuff, and definitely going to look to do well again this season of CEVO P, with what's a little bit of a new addition. Speaking of new additions, Sour Patch Kids has a new addition tonight, actually. From the rest of the way that they've had this season, they've actually picked up Synergy. Some of you guys may remember him from Hausen a couple of seasons back when they used to do pretty decent. So that might help them out a little bit tonight. As you said, they're trying to kind of make a little bit of a comeback. They've had a rough season. So that's what we're looking at. Also, just a quick thing to tell everybody, you can visit our IRC channel over at pound e-rev. There we will be doing shout-outs. You can send them in to me. That's Dirty Time. So just go ahead and send those shout-outs in to me at pound e-rev on IRC. We'll read them at halftime, at the end of the game, just whenever we can fit them in. And also, just once again, remember, we have that Steam and Facebook group that you guys can join to search Electronic Revolution on those, and you can definitely join up and get some information sent to you through Steam and such to kind of keep you alerted on when casts are and stuff. And of course, the website has a calendar on there, and we cast like almost every PC game known to man that's competitive. So if you like other games besides Source, you can definitely check that out as well. But we're about to get started here, Siege. What do you think's gonna happen tonight, Siege? And in your personal opinion, you know, knowing these two teams, how do you think this is gonna fly?
In my opinion, I honestly think Dynamic's just going to wipe the floor with them. As you said, you know, they have that addition to their team. He could probably, you know, make a difference, but this is just a great team. They have amazing teamwork. I think they're just going to clean up.
I don't think I can disagree with you, or at least not too strongly. But I do think that SPK is a little hungry. They have been practicing. I know I was talking to Shazam. He was actually practicing as I was trying to get like information from him to do this cast. So they're definitely trying hard. They're definitely trying to put some stuff together this season and really rock it out. So we'll see. This would be the statement to make if they can win this one. That would make a nice statement towards their comeback this season. So I think this is would be a good stepping stone for them if they can do it. But we'll see what happens. That Synergy is actually rushing for Terrace, who are actually upper A. Pex takes them out over there. So Synergy down over at the A-bomb site right now, as we have 4 actually working their way to Horseshoe, including that bomb. AZK is actually working Catwalk. Pex grabs another one right there, and Adren grabbing Shazam over into Elbow, so only 2 CTs remaining. That's SPK. For SPK, it's going to be RN and Edigy. As we'll go ahead and do a quick roster rundown as this match fades away. For Sour Patch Kids, we have Shazam, RN, Edigy, CHC, I'll just call him Chush, and Synergy. And then for Dynamic, we have Pex, Adren, Anger, Pex, and AZK. So that's going to be your rosters for tonight, as we have a 2-on-2. SPK making a little bit of a fight back right now, as we have Edigy just grabbing Adren right there in Horseshoe. Anger, the last man remaining, grabs Edigy, looking to finish off the round, grabs RN as well. So Dynamic is going to take that first pistol round and kind of set the tone from the T side of season. So what did you see in that round, Siege? And also, with it being season, do you think this is going to be particularly one-sided, or do you think this is going to be kind of balanced, or what do you think with Dynamic starting on the T side?
Honestly, with Dynamic starting on the T side, I think they're going to be able to do fine at controlling, you know, whatever site they want to go to. Like that round, they were able to walk up upper, you know, able to get the picks. They still kind of moved slowly in the site. Legend got taken out in middle, and you know, they were able to get in sight, hold it, but unfortunately, they had 2 guys come up from short, just start picking them off. But Anger was saying, no way I'm losing this first round. Did work. And secured that round for them.
Definitely, man. As we actually did chime down to a 3-on-3 situation right here. We had another couple SPK members rushing that upper just like last round. Anger able to pick him off, as he actually does have the bomb working himself over to T-stairs. Adren over by the vents. Energy and CHC, the last 2 players remaining, they're actually rotating from elbow to middle right now. Energy has very, very low health, gets picked off by Adren very quickly there. CHC, last player remaining against the remaining 3 Dynamic members, which is Anger, Adren, and Legend, as they're actually working their way to the A-bomb site. 2 Cat, 1 Horseshoe. They have made their way into the site right now. Fire coming off from CHC. He grabs one with that MP5 headshot now, 1-on-2. Sees one upper, but also sees a grenade flying into his face, which blows him into bits over there in elbow. So, second round going to Dynamic. What do you owe this to? Is it just like the pistol round pattern, Siege? That's what it kind of seems like to me. Is it's just kind of the pistol round pattern going. We might not really see a fight back until the gun rounds.
I'm gonna agree with you there. You know, they still got their picks that round. They're being good. You know, they lost a few guys, but they weren't too anxious. They know they have the weapons, but they weren't gonna lose them by playing stupid. So they, you know, they still kind of waited for their pushes, got their picks, got into sight, had to do what to do. You know, win that round.
Definitely. And that's really what demerits a good team, is just being able to realize your advantage but not try to go overboard with it, as we actually had CT's push up middle that time to T-stairs, catching Legend off guard. But AZK is quick to bring it back for his team, grabbing himself 2 frags over there by Catwalk. Bomb is up on Anger right now. He's actually working his way into the A-bomb side. He's actually going to go ahead and plant by cement packs. CTs have pushed through upper and are over by T-stairs. AZK is actually holding off those 2 players. RN has actually now switched gears and is heading Horseshoe right now. Pex coming through from Squeaky Door Hallway, picks him off, so the last remainder is going to be Edigy. He's trying to still come up T-stairs. Anger's not letting him do so from Catwalk with the AK. Grabs himself around right there, so the score is 3-0. So far, that whole one-sided thing with Dynamic wiping the floor at SPK is starting to look true, but I think things might change now that we have some guns over on the SPK side, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you can see SPK, they tried to give, you know, a 3-man push to mid, try to get something, you know, just, hey, let's see if we can get a little bit of money out of him, make him drop some weapons. AZK wasn't having that, decided he was going to come up behind him, you know, take him out, do work. Anger slowly walked into sight, not really worried about anything at all. Planted the bomb, secured the round again.
Indeed, and once again we see a four-man push underground by Dynamic. AZK, though, going to be squeaky door to Cat. 3 players still over by this horseshoe connector area. Synergy chiming things off, making his name known for this team early on in this gun round right here. Synergy grabs 1, grabs 2. Grab AZK, who is squeaky door, and 1 in the middle. The last 3 players are going to be having to come up horseshoe. CHC with the USP grabbing himself 1. So Dynamic falling off like flies here in this first gun round as Adren and company are still over here by a horseshoe. Anger takes that one with the M4. Shazam with the op picks off a Adren. So the first gun round going to the Sour Patch Kids. You know, a little bit of a momentum swift maybe. I don't know. Still pretty early to tell. Like I said, it's only the first gun round. So there's still a lot more Counter-Strike left to be played in this half. But it was nice to see some life from Sour Patch Kids, though, at least.
Absolutely. Synergy, he just kind of walked up and he happened to catch Legend with his pants down, throwing a grenade over that box, and then he just made his way over to Cat, and he kept catching them. You know, and the team, they weren't letting up. You know, hey, we've got that many down now. Let's do it. They took them all out in upper. Easy win for them.
Definitely so, as we actually see CHC on top roof in the A site this time. This kind of a little bit of a popular trick spot, as we do have the T side on a Eco, though, all rushing. Oh, Legend with that 1D on Shazam. Very nice 4-on-4 situation here. They actually went Vince to middle. Right now we have Legend and Anger pressing up Catwalk right now. CHC is going to be still on top of that roof, so he may be able to catch them as they're actually walking into the site. They haven't looked at roof yet. Finally did. CHC grabs 1. Anger quick to respond, so 3-on-2. Synergy and Energy left for the CT side. Energy is going to grab a Dren, who wasn't paying much attention there in middle. He has an op trying to peek, pit here and over by elbow, see if he can spot anybody out. Did see a foot over by elbow. Going to pop a nade over there and not get the hit fill. It does do some damage, and it get caught by Anger, who is in the site. Synergy responds really quickly from over CT right now. 1-on-1 situation for Synergy. He could make a statement for this team right now, but Legend is going to catch him with the Deagle as he tried to switch weapons. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there by that weapon switch, but it definitely allowed the terrorist there from Dynamic to just come in and pop him before he really had a chance to even take a stab at that 1-on-1.
I don't know, that one kind of confused me too. You know, you're sitting there, I was like, alright, yeah, he's going to fake the bomb, of course, but you fake and then throw your primary out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not quite sure what you think he was going to accomplish by that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people do that. They hope to actually stay on the defuse, and they do it, though, to make them think it was a fake. But he didn't do either way. It's kind of like halfway between 2 different options and didn't really get one. SPK grabbing an early frag over on Pex and Vince. AZK quick to respond, though, as the remaining 4 actually coming up to B right now. RN, the only player for SPK right now in the site, waiting for them to come in, as we do have AZK with the op kind of watching from lower. A couple of terrorists and upper. Legend has made his way into the site right now, as CHC trying to do something. RN, CHC, Shazam, all going down to Adren and AZK. Last player remaining is going to be Synergy here, as he has come at B Grace with the Deagle. He's going to meet Legend first, who's actually over there by upper with the smoke right now. Coming out, gets a 1D on both Legend and AZK. Oh my goodness, he's in a 1-on-2. Let's see if he can do it. It would be nice if he did. He already has 2 amazing frags right now, so we'll see if he can accomplish this. He sees one over by upper, popping a flash over by jail. Does not have a kit, though, so this is going to cause problems here in a second if he can't get these kills really quickly. He's flash out of his mind right now, and Pit. Anger able to grab him, though. But what a nice attempt by Synergy, I have to say. He almost was able to lay it down with those nice Deagles in lower B, but just couldn't quite get those last 2 remaining players. And that's kind of the story of Dynamic. If you're down a man against Dynamic, you better watch out, because it's already a problem as it is when it's easy.
Absolutely, but Synergy, he's really trying to make a name for himself. Everyone knows him as a really good player, but he's trying to say, you know, I'm going to try to help this team out here. Easily just picking off those 2 like it was nothing. Unfortunately, like you said, if you're not on an even playing field with Dynamic, it's just not going to help being down. They are going to get you. They're going to win the round.
Indeed, that's kind of just been the story of Dynamic throughout their history. As I said, Pex and Shazam exchanging frags on one another. AZK also grabbing Shazam here as they're actually working mid to cages right now. 2 CTs left remaining. It's CHC, RN. RN watching from cages. Legend picks him off with that AK, though. Not able to hold him off from that mid to cage rotation. Right now, CHC, your last player remaining. He's actually by middle. He just rotated from Cat now, as he's actually popping Vince. He's going to be in a 1-on-4. So it just seems to me like SPKs is seeing themselves in a disadvantage very early in all these rounds and just have to play retake in a disadvantage. He does grab AZK, though, in jail. Pretty nice little frag there. He's going to be coming up on Adren, Anger, and Legend to try to win this one off. All 3 players kind of in the same area here in this connector hallway between jail and the site. trying to hold CHC off. He's trying to slow peek these walls with some shoulder peeks, see if he can spot anybody out. Anger is actually going to push up a little bit and grab him, so another round for Dynamic here. It just seems like Sour Patch Kids, like I said, they're getting caught in man disadvantages like within the first 15 to 20 seconds of the round, and then Dynamic's just really just hitting them where it hurts, and they're just not able to hold anything for the most part.
I think they really need to switch up their tactics. I've seen it a couple times now. They keep running outside of B and meeting Dynamic still sitting on the grates, and when you've lost both your B players, they're just kind of strolling there like they own the place, and they're going to take it out. Unfortunately, they keep leaving their teammates, rotating from mid and A in a 1v3, 1v4 situation, 2v, they're not going to win with a man down.
Indeed, unless you can clutch, which Synergy almost did, and actually this is a CT push on an eco, and they've actually evened things up on a 2-on-2, so we had the remaining two teams coming from Squeaky Hallway. Energy tried to come up, and Legend was right behind him there, so RN, your last player, actually does have an AK by upper, grabs one with the headshot, so in a one-on-one situation, almost flashed himself right there. Bomb is down, he's against Pex, and he makes a nice shoulder peek and headshot on the Pex. So an eco round by Sour Patch Kids brings them one of their first victories of the half as the score is 6-2. So very nice little eco push there that they were able to grab some guns and capitalize on. Maybe they should stick to that kind of strat work.
It seems like they just kind of caught him in that close corridors, and Dynamic wasn't expecting, such a hard push in such a small place, and it turned out to work out really well for him.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I don't really think they were even looking for anything, It was an eco push that they were able to capitalize on. I mean, you never really expect to do so, but you gotta try, and they did, and it succeeded. So they have kind of started to maybe work their way into a comeback here, as Dynamic's only 2 rounds away from winning the half, as Adren's going to be working B Greats here. Energy is going to be waiting right there for him over by upper, so we'll see if how this peak goes down. Adren has seen him. Energy missed a shot and took a little bit of nade damage there, as Bomb is actually with Adren over by B Greats. That's going to be Legend. Anger with him as well. RN is actually kind of waiting in jail room to see if he can spot anybody out. Lots of smokes and flashes going off. Looks like they're going to be favoring B this time around as they're smoking it off. But actually they're rotating back around as AZK has gotten himself a pick. Shazam has gotten Peck. So 4-on-4 situation here. Legend grabs Energy. He was thinking that they might leave and try to come back behind him, but Legend was patient, took him out. So they are going to plant the B once again. RN is actually over by jail. He's going to be the first person to try to respond here. Legend takes him out, though, as he's going to pit, though, with a nice headshot. CHC and Shazam, the remaining 2 players. See Shazam coming here from jail room, trying to pop some nades into the site. CHC coming up behind him here as they're trying to work their way in. Shazam spots one pit, but then gets clobbered from double stack, which is Anger. So the remaining player, CHC, here trying to pop some nades in. Does have himself an op. Spots one over by lower. He misses a shot. Spots one by double stack. Misses that shot, too. And when you're missing shots against Dynamic, they are going to make you pay for it, and they surely did. Score is 7-2. That's really the story. You really just can't afford to make mistakes against Dynamic. If you make a mistake, they're going to catch you on it, and really your only chance to beat them is to not make mistakes. And unfortunately, lots of missed shots there by the Sour Patch Kid side kind of led Dynamic to kind of walk away with that.
Well, absolutely. They keep, they get around here or there, but Dynamic has done an amazing job of not letting momentum shift at all. Hey, you get around, we're still going to, ram this down your throat and you're going to hate it. Legend was doing an amazing job that round of just getting every little entry pick he wanted. He peeked in and shot one shots on everyone he planned to kill.
Pretty much. As this round's coming to a close here in itself, we have 2 CTs remaining as Dynamic is kind of taking control of the map right now. Pex taking down Synergy. Energy to your last remaining player right now. He's actually over in Vince with a USP. Not looking so hot right now as he's actually going to be coming behind Pex and Legend here. He has to pop this grate though first, so he's going to decide against that. Pex is actually going to meet him here over in jail in a second. He peeks right. Energy grabs him though, so 1-on-3 for him. Adren's going to be waiting for him though with the op. As soon as he popped that grate, he was done, as the bomb did get planted over at A as well. So like you said, whenever we were talking about, what do you think is going to happen in this match, like you said, it just seems like Dynamic is doing whatever they want as they please against Sour Patch Kids. It just seems like the impact that Synergy is having is just quite not enough for this team. I don't know how much chemistry they have with Synergy yet. I don't know if that might be part of it. But, I mean, of course we talked about Dynamic's been playing together forever, so this is just kind of a cakewalk for them, I think.
Oh, and absolutely. They are showing it, too. I mean, they get a couple picks mid. They're not even worried about rushing a bomb site. They are just sitting there chilling, seeing what unravels. I like it. They're not pushing. They're just letting Sour Patch kill themselves this whole match.
that pretty much has been the story. I mean, a lot of times that Sour Patch Kids has gone down has been either early rotations and getting caught on them, or just making unnecessary peaks on D. Even though some of their success has been on aggressive rounds, so it's kind of like one of those things, damn if you do, damn if you don't. As CHC is going to be the last remaining player in this round right now, as they were on an eco push once again on middle this time around. As CHC looks like you just might be waiting for exit frags. Remember, guys, if you're in pound e-rev, remember to send your shoutouts in to me. That's dirty time in pound e-rev in the game search network of IRC. I'll be able to read those at the end of the match. So please send those in. Once again, like I said, remember that Steam group and that Facebook group. You can search West Information on there and get on those groups. As that round faded away with Legend grabbing that frag on CHC. So like I said, guys, just remember to join those groups up. And like I said, shoutouts over in pound e-rev. We're always happy to read your stuff out on the air. As we do enjoy doing these casts and enjoy the community and enjoy getting your voices out there as well. So just get those in for us. We'd appreciate it. So if you're Sour Patch Kids, what are you thinking right now, Siege? I mean, it scores 9-2. You definitely don't want to lose this match. I mean, all you can really hope to do is win out. But what do you think they're thinking about?
At this point, they're probably hurting pretty bad. You know, they're thinking we got to get every round we can. But I'm hoping, you know, but at this point they're thinking and they're realizing we need to change our strategies, possibly different placements, or actually for once sitting back and letting Dynamic come to them and see how that works out. Because pushing has done nothing but just ended hard.
Indeed it has, even though Shazam did grab himself a little bit of an op right there, pushing Cat and taking down a player on T-stairs. So that was pretty nice right there. As we do have Adren and company pushing out a squeaky door. They're going to get flashed pretty hard here by the CT side, though. Legend grabbing off those two middle players. He has really been top-notch for his team tonight, as well as pretty much everyone on the squad has been doing their fair share. Edgy grabbing Legend in middle, though, however. He's trying to work a little bit on something else from the T-stairs. Adren and AZK, they're right on top of him. Bomb is going to finally take a plant here by Anger over by the quad boxes. Like I said, Edgy and Shazam remaining. Shazam is going to grab himself an op frag from Horseshoe. Not allow that to happen. Adren responds. Energy by himself now on a 1-on-2, as this could be the very movement that Sour Patch Kids needs to get back in this game, as he is coming from Horseshoe right now with an AK in hand. He's going to run to AZK probably first here, as AZK has made his way up on Horseshoe. And AZK is going to say negative. So another round goes to Dynamic, as Energy was trying to work a little bit of magic for his team. It seems like, you know, Sour Patch Kids does a decent job of having an even trade here recently, early in the rounds, but it just seems like they just can't hold on to that advantage for very long. It just, Dynamic seems to just really work well together and just doesn't really allow Sour Patch Kids to keep things going for themselves.
Yeah, it was something I was just noticing myself. I mean, even when they got the picks mid, you know, they don't really try to grab their weapons, recuperate, and do anything. They're trying to be, you know, every one of them wants to be John Rambo and do everything by himself. When I'm watching AZ and K and all them freaking open doors, flash, like they all know where they're gonna play, and just retake whatever they want. They're not playing as a team. They all think they can do it by themselves, and they're obviously getting outshot every time.
You're right, but like I said, you know, Dynamic has been playing together for a long time. They know what each other's going to do, and they know what to do here. As Orange trying to make a comeback right here for himself over by Jail, not getting that at all. As Shazam and Synergy actually were on an eco push upper A, and they've made their way back around to B. Shazam grabbing himself one deep frag, grabbing himself two deep frags. He might be able to pull this off for his team. Anger, the last player, he's coming from lower B and catches him in the back. He came from upper around and catches Shazam in the back of the head. Shazam almost, once again, we see these small little sparks of something coming from Sour Patch Kids, but just not enough to light the fire they need to make this comeback. As you said, like you said, they seem to be kind of trying to take them all by themselves. You know, right there, perfect example. We saw Arn in jail with the op. You know, not waiting for his players to rotate, already trying to get picks, and they really just aren't working together on retakes as well as you're going to need to against a team like Dynamic.
Absolutely, like you were saying. I mean, these retakes are key that you use your whole team, especially against a team like Dynamic, where they just demand the site. There's no question about it. We're taking it. But for some reason they haven't got it through their head, maybe they will the next half, that we have to push as a team in order to do something.
Exactly, and right there we saw a player push Cat. Legend took him out and then took the site. So once again, these pushes by SPK is really hurting them. Energy grabbed himself one, though. Right there in the middle, as him and his teammate are both going to be coming Cat right now. They're getting flashed, so pretty quickly. That Dynamic is waiting for him here on this Catway. They're getting flashed off hard, not allowing themselves to push it to the site. Lots of spam going off as well. So many flashes. It just seems like Energy's going to go ahead and save his gun. RN trying to grab some exit frags, and actually does grab 2. Legend finishes him off, though, right there. And another round for Dynamic as the score is 12-2. So, really, all I can really say is that I hope Sour Patch Kids has some tricks up their sleeves for this T side. Otherwise, this match is going to be ending pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one thing I've noticed. ETG and RN, you know, they've been the 2 people I have seen push Cat together for a retake, and every time I've seen them do it, it's been somewhat successful. You know, frag after frag. But that round they just got spammed with flashes. So at that, ETG says, "I'm gonna save my weapon," and RN's like, "Well, I'll see what I can get." And he did get quite a few frags coming out there.
It didn't quite matter, though. It's not like Dynamic's hurting for money with 12 victories, as they are hitting the B site pretty hard. Once again, Energy buys Lonesome in the site, trying to get something done here, as he is kind of pushing lower a little bit here on Legend and company. Pex grabs Legend. Nice little frag yoink for his team right there. So Shazam from Pit grabs 1. AZK right back onto Shazam, as it is a 3-on-3 situation. As Adrian does have the bomb. Energy is going to pick him up, though, from the stairs. Pex grabs him from behind. CHC coming on the retake from Great. That's going to leave AZK in a 1-on-2 situation right now. He does have the bombs. Peeks 1 at the stairwell, and that's Synergy he finds, and Synergy is going to take him out. Might be just a tad bit too late for Sour Patch Kids, though, to show some life, as the score is 12-3 going into the second half. So while this match isn't over yet, you know, it's going to be a long road for Sour Patch Kids. They really are going to need these pistol rounds. I mean, you figure if Dynamic gets the pistol rounds, it's a game point situation for them. So these pistol rounds are going to be pretty important, I think. I think that Sour Patch Kids is going to need to really hone in and focus on something that's going to work here against Dynamic. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it better be something good, because if not, they're going to be taking another loss on their record.
Absolutely. They needed to find, you know, a weakness in this team somewhere. I haven't spotted one, and so it seemed they haven't. I feel bad for them. I think, you know, Dynamic's just going to run away with these pistol rounds and just end the match for them, put them out of their misery.
Maybe so, but we will see, as you know, Dynamic has yet to show what their CT side is like on season. I mean, I've seen it before in the past. But I'm not sure if you know, they quite know what Sour Patch Kids is going to throw at them. It looks like a 1-2-2 from Sour Patch Kids. We have 1 underground, 2 by T stairs, 2 went towards B, and AZK with the USB of truth, grabbing Synergy very early. CHC going down the pecs. So Dynamic's defense is holding up. RN lonesome with the bomb, waiting for Energy to come Vince behind him, as they're going to be running into Legend here at B. Not the person you want to like to run into, as he's been hot tonight, popping a flash in over on the company. And I like about Legend, he doesn't chase after his flashes. He makes the flash and goes ahead and falls back, doesn't try to do anything dumb on the rush afterwards. Energy and RN are getting bottlenecked right here, and Legend takes out both of them with the USP, so 2 frags for him that round. AZK, that 1 frag from mid and Pex with a couple for himself as well. So, like you said, looking like Dynamic's just going to walk away with it here, as his total score right now is 13-3. So if the pistol round pattern holds up, we will see a game point situation for Dynamic, and probably a quick victory, as this is probably going to be one of the shortest matches I've seen yet this season.
Absolutely, Legend. He is smart. You know, all these guys know each other. They have amazing chemistry. They know, hey, I'm not gonna be stupid. You know, Rush says I'm gonna call it in for my team, and I know they will be here. And he just waits, and then they have the whole team versus their 2 little guys again, and they just take what they want from him. Like it's been the series all match.
Once again, Dynamic just, you know, having MP5s that round and able to eliminate that push there by SPK over on the A-bomb site. So score now 14-3. We're getting close to the end over here. I know I had a couple of shout-outs come in. I'm going to get to those in just a second at the end of the match. Don't worry. Just keep them coming in over at Pound Edestro. We love to get those shout-outs in. So definitely continue to do so here, as we are looking like we're about to wrap this match up. Like I said, we are at 14-3 score. Looks like if I were, you know, the SPK company, I would be thinking about buying, but they actually have not. Looks like they're still just on pistols right now. All of them actually heading towards the vents except for Synergy, who's by himself right now. It looks like they're just trying anything and everything at this point. They're kind of desperate for rounds, as, like I said, all 4 players come in vents right now. Pex grabbing 1 with the M4. CHC coming out to grab him with the Glock, though, as SPK does have control of mid right now, but AZK with that FAMAS grabs 1. CHC grabs him with the Glock, though. Synergy all by his lonesome gets taken down by Anger, who had a couple of kills. So, like I said, it just really seems to be all Dynamic all day. They're at game point now, 15-3 is your score. I guess I'm not too surprised, and from what you said before the match started, you aren't either, Siege, but you know, SPK just not being able to hold their own here against a top team like Dynamic.
No, absolutely what you said. I think they've just kind of died inside, and they're like, all right, we're going to try random little strats, to see what we can get. And unfortunately, didn't work out, well too well at all. They sent like 3 people vents, and it just got denied in the middle anyways.
Indeed, as we actually do have SPK bought up this time. Edigy with the op over on T-Stairs, trying to pick something at mid. Already got leg. Pex finishes him off there. Adren in the meantime also grabbing RN. So we actually are seeing the CTs really just take control of middle at this point. As CHC and Shazam are actually waiting for the push on T-Stairs. Synergy grabs 1. I think that was the guy who pushed upper A. As Shazam slowly working his way to Horseshoe right now with the bomb. Is up on CHC, who's still just kind of sitting back waiting for pushes. I don't know why he's doing so. He only has 15 health. And so if he gets picked, it's over with right now. Shazam, excuse me, trying to peek A site here from Horseshoe. Receiving a couple of shots from Legend. He does get him, though. It was over by Cement Packs. Pex now on Horseshoe waiting for him. CHC finally making his way across mid with the bomb. Very low health. Like I said, he's going to be going cat here shortly. Making some really risky peeks around middle, though, on his way there. And like I said, doesn't ever have very much health. And Synergy's going to have to work hard to get this bomb if he falls. As Pex and Shazam are about to meet each other over here by Horseshoe. And Pex is going to get the best of him. So CHC by himself with 15 health, walking the catwalk right now, 1-on-3. Sees 2 upper, can't get, or Pex upper, excuse me, can't get him. That's going to be GG. Score is 16-3. Very good game indeed. But like we said, very one-sided match for Dynamic.
Absolutely. Like I said, they never, ever got the concept of maybe if we did stuff as a team, we would win this. But here he sat last round just letting his buddy sit there pinned down in upper A. He wanted to fool around, make some risky peeks in mid, throw some terrible grenades, and just lose the match.
Indeed, indeed. So I did have like one shout out in. That was shout out from Ally, who wanted to give a shout out to Todd from Ally. I love him. Then I had a shout out from Shazam himself from Sour Patch Kids, who appreciates the cast from tonight and says, yeah, it was kind of rough playing against #1 team pretty much when we just picked up a 5th. And yeah, I would say that's correct. You got to have good chemistry, especially playing against a team like Dynamic, who has like 2 or 3 years worth of experience playing with each other and has a crap load of chemistry. So that's really what happened there. So we appreciate all of you guys coming out tonight to watch the match. It will be up on demand here shortly, so you can catch it again, show it to your friends if you want them to check it out, or come back to it later, whatever you want it to be. It'll be on the cast tab soon. And like I said, remember, you can join us up on Steam and Facebook to search Electronic Revolution, and like I said, that IRC channel, pound e-rev, you can idle and perform that. And like I said, we'll always be taking shout-outs to that channel every time we do cast here at e-rev. So once again, thanks a lot, folks. This is another CEVO PCSS cast from e-rev, with Dynamic being your victor in a surprising fashion. Or not surprising, but in a strong fashion. Score 16-3 was your final. So remember, stay tuned to e-rev for all of your esports coverage. Like I said, we will probably do another Counter-Strike Source match, probably Thursday night, another CEVO P match. So just be ready for that. Just be checking out the website. Now, of course, I'll always be posting in the IRC and on the ESCA and such to try to get you guys involved. So just be on the lookout for more stuff from e-rev, guys. We appreciate you. Have a good night.